Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanz. We want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to be talking about the Clippers today, man. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let me get into this topic here. Look, as you guys know, the Clippers just got eliminated in 6 games, and I saw the comments. People, where were you live at? Somebody says, stand on business. I saw the comment. It was hilarious. I'm like, nah, man, I can't do it. I did some lives when they won. I did some lives when they lost. But I'm like, nah, man, I'm tired. We had already did a live before that earlier talking about the Darvin Ham situation. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But I can feel y'all. Y'all got the right to feel that way. Y'all got the right. And then some people like, this is what you get for wishing for the downfall of the Lakers. Like, you not wishing for the downfall of the Clippers. Like, stop. Like, come on, stop. Like, don't get into the victimizing yourself. Oh, you wished against us. Like, you wasn't wishing too. Boy, stop. Boy, stop. But anyway, the Clippers lost. And they lost pretty badly. The Clippers try to hang in there in the second half with the Dallas Mavericks, but ultimately they ended up losing 114 to 101. Paul George chipped in 18 points on 33% shooting. James Harden chipped in 16 points on 31% shooting. Terrence Mann played well, I thought. Ivica Zubac had a double-double. Norman Powell had 20 coming off the bench, but Luke and Kyrie and the defense that those guys were playing with PJ Washington and Derek Lively and these guys, Josh Green, they were too much. They were too much for the Clippers down the stretch, and they ended up just beating them soundly on their court. And Kyrie started hitting crazy and one shots, falling out of bound threes, and all kind of crazy stuff. So I then wrote on the channel. I said, listen, this team needs to be blown up. So then what happened? I tuned in this morning to see some of the things that were being said by head coach Ty Lue, and he took an optimistic, avenue, and he was saying, he's proud of his guys and all of that. Now that this series is over, what are my thoughts? What would I like to see? First of all, now I can be honest with you guys. As much as Russell Westbrook brings to the team in terms of his energy, I don't like the fact that Russell Westbrook cannot shoot an open shot. I don't like that. I don't like that when teams are scheming defensively, their goal is when Russell Westbrook is on the floor, leave him open. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Russell Westbrook can be clumsy with the ball around the rim. He can recover in most cases, might maybe get an offensive rebound or getting a steal after a bad play. But I've kind of seen enough of that. Some people say he like his energy or whatever, then let him be an assistant head coach on the bench. I don't like that anymore. So if I'm the Clippers, I don't want Russell Westbrook back. That's just me. Next player, Paul George. I think the Clippers should move off from Paul George. There have been rumors that Paul George may go back to Indiana. He may go to the Knicks. He may go to the Heat. He may go to those other teams. I think we've seen enough from Paul George. What I mean by that is Paul George is a great player, but he's not reliable in the playoffs. And all too often he comes up small. So Paul George, I think they should move off of Paul George. I think James Harden was good. He's very durable. I'm kind of undecided whether or not to keep James Harden or Paul George if I had to decide. Although James Harden is not really a good defender, but he's a great point guard. So I would probably keep, if I had to choose between James Harden and Paul George, I would probably keep James Harden just for his ability to run the offense if I had to decide. So I would definitely move off of Russell Westbrook. I would definitely move off of Paul George, which brings us to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is the most valuable asset, but also he's always injured, right? Now, the Clippers are in a pretty precarious situation because now what they have is they extended Russell Westbrook, I believe, for multiple years. They haven't extended Paul George, and Harden hasn't been extended. Kawhi has. So you can definitely play around with those two pieces. But look, if I'm the Clippers, I wouldn't be against looking at options to move off of Kawhi Leonard. But here's why I said the disturbing pattern. I don't think the Clippers are going to do any of this. I think the Clippers are going to run it back. This is what I truly believe. I think they're going to try to run it back with this group, and I think that's a mistake. I think that is a mistake. Now, the Kawhi Leonard part is quite interesting because Kawhi is always injured when you need him most. But then there's the business aspect of it. If I'm Steve Ballmer, if I'm Lawrence Frank and these guys, and I'm looking at my books and looking at the investment made, and you're trying to bring all of these people into I think it's the Intuit Arena, the new arena in Inglewood, you're going to need a star player. You're going to need a star attraction. So from a business standpoint, Kawhi Leonard can still attract fans to come to the game, which has a monetary impact, value to it. So from that standpoint, I can understand keeping him, but you just know then that you're running the risk of him not being available. Ultimately, I don't think that this Clippers team can win a championship with these players. I think their window has closed. And if you look at this thing over the last 5 years, it has gone as the following. The Clippers had a healthy run in 2000. Since then, they have never been healthy for the past 4 seasons. The next year, Kawhi Leonard gets injured in the playoffs. He's gone in the second round. They lose in the Western, I think the Western Conference Finals. Then the following year, Paul George is gone for the entire. Kawhi Leonard gets gone for the entire season, and I think they don't make the playoffs. Then last year, they get to the playoffs. Right before the playoffs, Paul George gets injured. He has some kind of freak injury, and Kawhi gets injured in game 1. Plays game 2, he's gone. This season, those guys are healthy. Kawhi Leonard gets injured right before the season starts. So 4 out of the last 5 years has been laden with disappointment. And personally, I've had enough. I will not be picking the Clippers to win a goddamn thing moving forward, especially not this group. I just think they need a major shakeup and maybe multiple shakeups. But this current group, I have zero faith in them. I don't think anyone should have any faith in this group of winning a damn thing. And I'm emotionally detaching myself from this. 5 years? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. And some people say, oh, you're a fair weather fan. Don't care. I don't really care what you guys really got to say. I don't have to be a fan the way you want me to be a fan. You be the way you want to be a fan. I'm going to be the way I want to be the fan. Had I listened to jokers like you, I would have been a Steve Francis fan until he got kicked out of until he left the NBA. Yeah, Steve Francis. I used to actually like Steve Francis before Kobe. And I realized, like, wait a minute, this guy's too disappointing. He's not really producing what I want. He only made the playoff. Like, let me go root for Kobe Bryant. And it ended up being one of the best decisions because Kobe ended up being a great player to root for. So I should be holding on to hope. And no, you can hold on to hope. No, I don't need to. Fairweather fan, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to root for teams that I can actually support, teams where players are going to be available, and they're not always going to be constantly disappointing me every single time because this player got injured or this dumbass decision got made or this dumbass acquisition got made. I'm good.